In the 1950s, the flying cars ride thrilled amusement park visitors with its futuristic experience. Inside a rotating drum, riders could control their car's speed and brakes, giving them the sensation of soaring through loops and defying gravity. In 1867, a young boy named Dina Sanichar was discovered in a cave near Rukmapur, India, reportedly raised by wolves. Known as the Wolf Boy, he was around 6 years old and exhibited wild animal-like behaviors, a remarkable case showing the effects of social isolation on human nature. The Pan American Airways flying boat terminal in Miami, Florida, circa the 1940s, served as a critical hub for transoceanic travel during the golden age of aviation. Known for its iconic Art Deco architecture, the terminal embodied the glamour and excitement of air travel at a time when flying boats were the epitome of luxury and adventure, connecting passengers to far-flung destinations across the Caribbean and Central America. The incomplete prototype of the Messerschmitt P-1101 jet fighter, found by a United States Army unit in Bavaria in 1945, represents the innovative aviation technology pursued by Nazi Germany. With a variable sweep wing design to enhance agility, the P-1101 highlighted Germany's commitment to advanced engineering even in the war's final days. In the late 1950s, animators at Walt Disney Animation Studios were hard at work on 101 Dalmatians, a film that would change animation forever. By using the xerography process, they could transfer sketches directly to cells, creating a distinct look and streamlining production like never before. In 1908, the Riga Police Assault Group represented the changing face of law enforcement in the Baltic region during a period of social and political unrest in the Russian Empire. This elite unit was formed to combat rising crime and civil disorder, highlighting the growing challenges authorities faced as revolutionary sentiments spread. On October 30, 1944, crewmen aboard the United States ship Belleau Wood, Light Aircraft Carrier 24, a United States Navy light aircraft carrier, bravely battled raging fires after the ship was struck by a kamikaze attack while operating near Luzon in the Philippines. This assault was part of the intense naval engagements of the Second World War, where Japanese pilots launched suicide missions in a desperate effort to turn the tide of the war. In the background, the United States ship Franklin, Aircraft Carrier 13, another victim of the day's relentless assaults, burned ominously. On November 5, 1936, Tokyo witnessed a remarkable military display as 50,000 students took part in training exercises, equipped with bicycles for rapid deployment to the front lines. This initiative was a testament to Japan's intensifying militarization during the interwar period, as the government prepared its youth for future conflicts amid growing tensions in Asia. On April 19, 1913, Arthur Wizard Stone captivated spectators at Auckland Domain in New Zealand as he flew a Blériot monoplane, showcasing the burgeoning era of aviation. Stone, a pioneering aviator, was known for his daring stunts and aerial displays, which drew large crowds eager to witness the marvel of flight firsthand. Circa 1946 to 47, weightlifter and stuntwoman Relna Brewer-McRae and her best friend Stockton were captured in a candid moment as they touched up their makeup in their training spot in Santa Monica, California, embodying the spirit of post-war empowerment for women. During this transformative era, McRae pushed boundaries as one of the few female weightlifters, showcasing strength and athleticism in a predominantly male field, while also performing daring stunts for film and television. On October 6, 1889, the Moulin Rouge opened its doors in the vibrant district of Montmartre, Paris, quickly becoming a symbol of the Belle Époque and a hub of entertainment and artistic expression. The iconic cabaret was famous for its extravagant shows, lively can-can dances, and a clientele that included artists, writers, and celebrities, making it a cultural landmark of the 20s. In 1914, Oscar Matheson posed proudly in his skates covered in medals that honored his unparalleled achievements. As a 5-time world champion and a record setter, Matheson's legacy in speed skating endures as a testament to his skill and innovation in the sport. In 1883, Calgary was a burgeoning frontier town in the heart of Alberta, Canada, known for its rugged cowboys and vibrant cattle industry. The arrival of the Canadian Pacific Railway in 1883 transformed Calgary into a crucial transportation hub, attracting ranchers and settlers eager to capitalize on the booming cattle trade. In 1909, young boys worked tirelessly in a textile mill in Macon, Georgia. Child labor was common in the early 20th century as families depended on every possible income source. These young workers endured long hours and tough conditions, a reality that eventually fueled calls for labor reform in America. This lively scene from 1933 shows the celebration of Prohibition's repeal. For 13 years, the nation had endured strict alcohol bans, but the 21st Amendment finally lifted these restrictions. The joy and relief are evident as Americans embraced a new era of freedom and economic recovery during hard times. In the 1920s, Helen, a Native American switchboard operator at Many Glacier Hotel, bridged two worlds. With feathers in her hair and hands on modern machinery, she embodied a balance between her cultural roots and the advancing technology of her time. Her work reflects both the resilience and adaptability of indigenous communities. The Kennedy brothers, John, Robert, and Edward, pose casually in this 1930s photograph, a quiet moment in the lives of three young men who would each leave a profound legacy. From the White House to the Senate, the Kennedy name would become synonymous with American ideals and ambition. This image from 1908 features Max, the Red Cross dog, alongside a Dietrich motorized ambulance in Vincennes. As one of the first of its kind, this ambulance marked a new era in medical transport. During the 1955 Cannes Film Festival, Sophia Loren's radiant presence captivated all in attendance, marking her rise in the international film industry. As she promoted the gold of Naples, her charm and skill underscored the emerging power of European cinema in the post-war era. In 1918, during the final year of World War I, the New York Women's Machine Gun Squad Police Reserves conducted tests with the Lewis machine gun mounted on a Henderson motorcycle. This unit was formed amid growing concerns over civil unrest and security in New York City, as returning veterans and economic uncertainty created tension on the home front. The squad's exercises reflected the heightened focus on public safety and preparedness in a time of social and economic transition. On June 28, 1944, the B-17 Flying Fortress Queen of Hearts, Little Satan from the 379th Bomb Group, sustained severe damage during a bombing raid over German targets, illustrating the perilous nature of Allied air missions in World War II. Despite the extensive damage to the aircraft, including the front nose section, Pilot Lieutenant Carl Becker demonstrated extraordinary skill by guiding the crippled plane back to its base in England. In 1947, weightlifter and actor Steve Reeves visited Hawaii as part of his United States tour to promote physical fitness among the youth, accompanied by fitness pioneer Abby Stockton. Known for his remarkable physique and later for his roles in classic sword and sandal films, Reeves inspired a generation with his dedication to bodybuilding and healthy living. In February 1949, an excavation team from the Jordanian Department of Antiquities undertook a pioneering mission to examine the first collection of the recently rediscovered Dead Sea Scrolls, found in Cave 1 at Qumran. These ancient manuscripts, some dating as far back as the 3rd century before the Common Era, provided invaluable insights into Jewish history, culture, and religious beliefs during the Second Temple period. In 1890, the tombs of the Mamluks in Cairo stood as a striking testament to the architectural grandeur and historical significance of the Mamluk Sultanate, which governed Egypt from the 13th to the 16th centuries. This unique dynasty shaped the political, military, and cultural landscape of medieval Egypt, leaving behind monuments that continue to inspire awe and reverence. On August 15, 1941, Australian soldiers disembarked in Singapore, marking a crucial moment as World War II tensions intensified in the Asia-Pacific region. Their arrival was part of the Allied effort to reinforce Malaya's defenses in anticipation of Japanese expansion. Singapore held immense strategic value as a military base, and its defense was considered vital to maintaining Allied influence and security in Southeast Asia during the escalating conflict. In October 1944, as German forces retreated from Thessaloniki, Greece, they set off a series of explosions at the city's port. This strategic location had been crucial for maintaining supply lines during the German occupation. The destruction of the port was intended to disrupt the Allied advance and left a lasting mark of devastation on the city, reflecting the widespread ruin experienced across the Balkans during World War II. On May 15, 1953, Hollywood stars Betty Grable and Marilyn Monroe were photographed at the Cairo nightclub during a celebration for gossip columnist Walter Winchell's birthday. Winchell was a powerful figure in Hollywood, known for his influence over celebrity culture. This event took place in an era when both actresses symbolized contrasting ideals of femininity in post-war America, each leaving an indelible mark on the film industry. In 1945, the ruins of Bezuidenhout in The Hague served as a grim reminder of the tragedies of war. The neighborhood was mistakenly bombed by British planes targeting nearby V-2 rocket launch sites. On September 6, 1898, the crew of the German oceanographic ship Valdivia celebrated their first crossing of the equator with a traditional equatorial baptism. In this maritime rite of passage, inexperienced sailors, or polywogs, were playfully hazed by seasoned crew members known as shellbacks. The Valdivia expedition, led by zoologist Carl Chun, marked Germany's first major deep-sea research mission, exploring previously uncharted marine life. Imam Shamil, seen here in a photograph from his later years around 1865, was a revered leader of the Caucasian resistance against Russian imperial forces. Leading one of the longest guerrilla struggles of the 19th century, Shamil's commitment to protecting the cultural and religious identity of Chechnya and Dagestan made him a powerful symbol of defiance and unity in the Caucasus. In December 1935, Soviet leaders, including figures like Joseph Stalin, Vlas Chubar, Kliment Voroshilov, Vyacheslav Molotov, and Yakov Yakovlev, gathered for a strategic meeting amidst the drive to consolidate power within the Communist Party. This gathering took place during a critical phase in Soviet history, marked by the first five-year plan, which focused on rapid industrialization and forced collectivization. In the early 1900s, Evenk shamans served as vital spiritual figures within the Evenk communities of Siberia. As respected healers and spiritual leaders, they performed rituals rooted in animism, believing in the connection between humans, nature, and the spirits inhabiting the world around them. In 1911, British traveler and archaeologist Gertrude Bell captured this striking photograph of the castle of Kirkuk in Iraq, a fortress with a history that traces back to the ancient Assyrian Empire. The site served as a strategic stronghold for various empires, including the Assyrians, Parthians, and Ottomans, reflecting the complex cultural and historical layers of the region. On November 7, 1917, revolutionaries gathered on the balcony of the former Tsarskaya Selo Palace in Petrograd, declaring the Bolshevik takeover. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of Soviet rule, driven by widespread frustration with the provisional government's inability to address the demands for peace, land, and bread among the war-weary population. The proclamation set in motion events that would reshape Russia and alter the course of 20th century history. In 1938, Shanghai was a bustling hub of commerce and cultural exchange, reflecting a unique blend of Eastern and Western influences. The image of a merchant being pushed in a wheelbarrow captures the daily realities of urban life during a time when the city was a melting pot of various nationalities, including Chinese, British, and Americans, amidst the backdrop of political turmoil and the looming threat of Japanese invasion. This photograph of a Russian trading station in Yakutia, circa 1904, highlights an essential center of commerce and interaction in Siberia. These trading posts were crucial during the Russian Empire's expansion into the Far East, fostering an exchange of goods such as furs, timber, and fish, which were vital to the empire's economy. This late 19th century photograph captures the Yakut people of Siberia preparing tarasun, a traditional milk vodka made from fermented mare's milk. In this early 1900s photograph, Mabel Reigelman sits beside the famous soprano Madame Johanna Gadsky and her daughter. Madame Gadsky, renowned in both Europe and America for her opera performances, was an influential figure, captivating audiences and inspiring young admirers like Mabel with her powerful voice. This early photograph, taken by pioneering photographer Louis Daguerre in 1834, captures the Roman temple of Bellona, dedicated to the goddess of war. Situated near Tossa de Mar, Spain, this temple embodied the grandeur of Roman architecture and its lasting influence across Europe. Though the temple itself has vanished, Daguerre's work preserves a rare glimpse into an ancient past. In 1901, the Koryaks and Tungus, indigenous peoples of Siberia, gathered to watch a duel between young boys, a tradition that served as a rite of passage. Rooted in Siberia's demanding yet majestic landscapes, these duels highlighted the strength and cultural heritage of these resilient communities. On November 1, 1944, British assault troops advanced along the waterfront near Flushing on Walcheren Island, facing fierce German resistance. This critical operation aimed to clear the Scheldt estuary for Allied shipping routes, essential for supplying the liberated ports of Antwerp. Amid bursting shells, these troops fought in a high-stakes campaign that would help sustain the Allied push against Nazi Germany. In the early 20th century, a poor family from Alabama unexpectedly became celebrities after overcoming the debilitating effects of hookworm disease. This illness, often linked to clay eating or geophagia, was common in the South, where it stunted growth and weakened immune systems, highlighting the severe health challenges faced by impoverished communities. On November 1, 1924, the Utah versus Colorado college football game made history as the first game at the newly built Colorado Stadium, now known as Folsom Field. This inaugural matchup marked a turning point for college sports in the Rocky Mountain region, drawing passionate fans to witness the intense rivalry between the two teams. Unity Valkyrie Mitford, a British socialite from the influential Mitford family, became infatuated with Adolf Hitler in the 1930s, eventually becoming one of his close confidants. Drawn to her name, which echoed Germanic mythology, Hitler saw Unity as a symbol of his ideal Aryan woman, interpreting their connection as if it were destined. This rare daguerreotype of Andrew Jackson, captured in April 1845, offers a poignant glimpse into the final months of the 7th United States president's life. Known as Old Hickory, Jackson's presidency was marked by his populist approach, assertive executive power, and divisive policies like the Indian Removal Act, making him one of the most controversial leaders in American history. In 1936, under the Nazi regime, anthropologist Eva Justin subjected marginalized individuals, including a young Roma woman, to unsettling examinations. These pseudoscientific efforts sought to categorize and dehumanize groups like the Roma, using flawed theories of racial purity to fuel systematic discrimination and horrific acts of violence. Sergeant Gander, the loyal mascot of the Royal Rifles of Canada, became a wartime legend for his bravery during the defense of Hong Kong in World War II. In October 1941, as Japanese forces closed in, Gander made the ultimate sacrifice by charging at a grenade to save his comrades, earning him posthumous honors as a true war hero. This poignant moment, captured during the liberation of Alsace in 1944, shows a French soldier in a heartfelt embrace with his mother after 2 years apart. Amidst the celebrations of the Allied advance, their reunion symbolizes the hope and resilience of those returning to their homeland after the long years of war. The 1909 World Series saw a historic clash between Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner, two of baseball's greatest players. With the Detroit Tigers facing the Pittsburgh Pirates, Wagner showcased his skill, leading the Pirates to a hard-fought victory in 7 games and solidifying his place in baseball history. In October 1944, during the liberation of Breda in the Netherlands, a soldier from the 1st Polish Armored Division offered a moment of joy and camaraderie by allowing a Dutch girl to ride on his BSAM 20 motorcycle. This powerful image of Patriarch Alexei I addressing the faithful under Stalin's portrait reflects the delicate balance the Russian Orthodox Church had to maintain with the Soviet state. From 1945 until his death in 1970, Alexei led efforts to restore the Church's standing and rebuild its shattered communities, embodying resilience during a period of intense ideological tension.